Assalamu alaikum dear students, I hope you all are good. Today we are starting with our next topic, that is the light reaction. And let me tell you, earlier we have read the pigment systems and the structure of the pigment systems. Now coming to our next topic, that is the site and stage of the photosynthesis. You already know that the photosynthesis is completed into two stages. First of all, it's light dependent reaction, and number second is the Calvin cycle. The light dependent reactions include the light reaction, which takes place in the thylakoids or the membranes of the thylakoids. This is the grana, and these individuals are called individual parts are called as thylakoids. Here what happens, water is separated and evolves O2, and as a result electrons are released in this process, and finally ATP and NADPH are synthesized, which are energy rich molecules, and these enter the Calvin cycle or drive the Calvin cycle, in which the carbon dioxide is fixed. This Calvin cycle or the dark reaction takes place in the absence of light and in the stroma of the chloroplast. What is stroma? Stroma is the fluid containing the necessary enzymes for the dark reaction or the Calvin cycle. So moving ahead, now we'll be starting with the light reaction. What is light reaction? It is actually the movement or the flow of the electrons across the different pigment systems, across different complexes in the thylakoid membranes, and the flow of the electrons in photosynthetic organisms is of two types. First of all, it's non-cyclic and cyclic electron transport. In non-cyclic electron transport, what happens? The electrons are released from the splitting of water and finally reach to NADP positive, and as a result a proton motive force is generated and ATPs are synthesized. Fine. And the synthesis of ATP due to non-cyclic electron flow is called as non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So coming to this non-cyclic electron photophosphorylation, what is this? Here when light falls on the pigment system second, water is separated by the O2 evolving complex. That O2 evolving complex contains manganese. Fine. Manganese is an ion that contains manganese, and water is separated. It releases 4 electrons plus oxygen and plus 4 protons. Fine. Now these electrons they flow to this, or they move to the pigment system second or P680. As a result, this pigment system second or P680 gets excited. Here is P star 680. It shows the excited form. Here you can see this is the excited form of this pigment system second. So when it is excited, it passes its electrons to the pheophytin. What is pheophytin? Pheophytin is a chlorophyll A molecule with central magnesium atom replaced by 2 hydrogen atoms. And as a result, this pheophytin passes the electrons to the plastoquinone. What is plastoquinone? It is a quinone molecule. Quinone, what do you mean? It's a ring shaped structure, and upon receiving the electrons, it changes to plastoquinol. It produces plastoquinol. Fine, it produces plastoquinone or plastoquinol, and these plastoquinone molecules pass these electrons to cytochrome B iron sulfur protein complex. Fine. What is the cytochrome F complex? It's also called. What is this? It's an iron sulfur protein. Fine. It then passes the electrons to the plastocyanin. Fine. Then this plastocyanin passes these electrons to the photosystem first. Fine. The photosystem first, upon receiving the electrons, becomes excited. This is P700, and it becomes excited. It changes to P700. Fine. And then it passes the electrons to iron sulfur proteins. And these iron sulfur proteins pass the electrons to ferredoxin. It's an iron containing complex, and finally this ferredoxin passes these electrons to NADP positive. And when NADP positive receives the electrons, it gets reduced, and as a result we receive NADPH, which is an energy rich molecule, and hence in this process what is synthesized? NADPH. So this NADPH is synthesized. Next is synthesis of ATP. So tomorrow we'll be studying the synthesis of ATP. Please go through this lecture. If there is any confusion, please let me know in the comments. I'll be replying to you guys. Thank you so much. Stay blessed, stay safe.